If you're thinking of moving to Franklin, Tennessee in 2026, this is not a sales pitch. My name is Kelsey Henry. I'm a realtor in the Williamson County area. I help folks buy and sell every day. I love helping families relocate to the area because I once relocated to the area about 8 years ago from Seattle, Washington. I'm going to walk you through the good, the bad, and the ugly about moving to Franklin, Tennessee, and hopefully tell you some things that maybe you didn't think about before or something that maybe other realtors won't tell you. Okay, let's first talk about the pace of life here, the pros and cons. When we moved here from the West Coast, we were not prepared for the slower pace of life that is Middle Tennessee and that is the South. When we moved here, we had 4 days to find a house. We had our list prepared, ready to go. We sent it to our agent. We probably had about 33 homes that we were looking at in 4 days, which is a lot. And we said, listen, we're 15-minute people. We know right away when we walk into a home, what we're looking at. We can decide right away. We know. So just plan smaller appointment times. We don't need an hour. And when we arrived, we quickly realized that people don't move at the same pace that maybe we do. And that's totally fine and okay, but it's just something that we weren't quite prepared for. When you come to Franklin, Tennessee, it's just not as chaotic, I have found, as where we were on the West Coast, where it took 45 minutes to drive 1.5 miles during rush hour. Do we have traffic here? Yes. But depending on where you're at, it's going to look a little bit different depending on what part of town you are. So for me now, this pace of life is a pro. I actually enjoy it. It helps me kind of calm down and makes our family step back and take a breather. It could be a con if you are used to a more go pace of life and you aren't used to people kind of slowing down and maybe taking a little bit more time to explain, get to know you, etc. Okay, let's talk about the cost of living and taxes here in the Franklin, Tennessee area. I know when we moved here from the West Coast, we thought, oh, we're just gonna buy a house and what we made in our equity, it's gonna be so great. We had this concept, I don't know why, that living in Williamson County was going to be cheaper, more affordable, however you wanna put it, than where we were living in Washington. And that was wrong, and we figured that out right away. I think folks are surprised when they come to Williamson County and they see the cost and they see how much home prices have gone up here. Even when we purchased 8 years ago, it was starting to climb a little more than I think what we thought it would. So sometimes there's a disconnect there. So I think it's really important for people to understand that house prices here in Williamson County, they're probably higher than maybe what you think they could be or are. Folks here, our values in our homes, they hold steady, they hold strong, and there's a number of reasons for that. If you look up school ratings, you'll find that might be a big part of that. There's a reason that people move to Williamson County. And so there is no shortage of buyers coming here. You'll see that home prices really climbed. A house that you saw in 2018 may have doubled in price from 2018 to 2026, and that's pretty normal. So I always tell people, have an open mind when you come here because what you think is affordable might be different than what we consider affordable here in Williamson County. Another thing to talk about here is our income tax, our state income tax, which is 0. We have no state income tax. That's a huge difference for folks coming here from California, Illinois. I also have people coming here from Texas, which also does not have state income tax, but their property taxes are insanely high. So something to consider here when you're looking at different areas in Williamson County, it's important to have your realtor talk to you about what your property taxes might be, whether you have city, county, what does that look like? But just know we don't have state income tax, which can be a great thing. Schools. Let's talk about the pros and cons. If you have kids that need to be in elementary school, middle school, if you're not homeschooling, you need to look at the ratings. First of all, when I have people relocating here, We first talk about, of course, different segments of Williamson County, because when people talk about Franklin proper, sometimes, they move here, they think, I want to be in Franklin proper. And then they realize that the home prices in Franklin are far different from maybe the suburbs of Franklin. And we still have suburbs in Franklin that are a Franklin address, but might be a little more outskirts. The biggest thing to know about this if you have kids in school is, what is it zoned for? Is it Williamson County? Is it Davidson? Is it Williamson? Is it Murray County, Rutherford? All those things are going to make a big difference in the school that your child attends. You may have a house across the street here that is zoned for a different school than you. It's kind of wild. I'm looking out our window right now. There's a farm right across the street from us, stone's throw away. That's a different county than where we are. So schools here are a big thing. It's very important that you look up the ratings. As a realtor, I can't say, oh, this is a good school, this is a bad school. I can't say those kinds of things. So I will always say, look up the school ratings. If you're curious about if there's kids in this neighborhood, you do need to go and sit at the bus times, take a look at the activity. The schools here really hold value, and you'll see that reflected in some of the home prices here. What are the cons about the schools here? Honestly, I don't have anything to say about my school and the schools that my kids are in. We're really happy with the schools that our kids are in. I think the biggest thing, again, is just know that wherever you land, you need to look up the school ratings for that particular school, whether they're in Williamson County or not. There is a huge homeschooling population here, so if you are a family that wants to homeschool, or maybe already does homeschool, just know there's a place for you here. All right, let's talk about the culture fit, the pros and the cons. When we moved here almost 8 years ago, we were so lucky in that we had a couple opportunities to move to a few different areas across the U.S. We were asked to go on the far east side. We knew we wanted to get back towards family, which for us is kind of in the central area of the U.S., near the Midwest. And so the opportunity came for us to move to the Franklin, Tennessee area for my husband's job, and we took it. We hadn't even come out here. We honestly barely looked it up. We just knew that it was closer to family, and we had heard some things about Franklin, and we just went on a whim and said, let's go, let's do it. And it has been the best move for our family in so many ways. The culture here is exactly what we wanted. When we think about raising kids and the values we want to raise our kids with, the environment we want for our children, this has completely checked nearly all of the boxes. If you're looking for a place that is rooted in a warm, friendly, genuine environment, this is certainly the place for you. When we moved here, we moved at a really terrible time. I thought it was right before Thanksgiving. It's not a time where people are, coming in and setting their kids up for school and where everyone's starting at the same time. When we moved into our neighborhood, I posted, we're new here, we're moving, we are coming at an awkward time. My kids don't know anyone. Does anyone have, this age child, blah, blah, blah. And I had like 26 comments from neighbors saying, oh my gosh, let's go to the bus stop early. You can meet my son. He's in your son's class. And my son had like 4 friends before he even started school that day. And that to me was everything. That's kind of just the vibe here. Everyone is super genuine. And I think when you're not from this area and you come from places that are a little colder, where we came from, they call it the Seattle freeze, where people say, oh, it's so great to meet you. And then you actually go to like try to befriend and talk to your neighbors, and it's just everyone's a little standoffish. And that is not the case here. People are really surprised when they come and folks are super genuine and you just move in and they say things like, truly, let me know what you need, or do you need dinner tomorrow, if they find out that you're sick or your family member's sick, or someone's going to set up a meal train for you. Maybe someone you go to church with is going to set up a meal train for you that you don't even know. I mean, this is totally normal behavior. It really is wild. People are just that way here, and I love it. What I love about this area is we see kind of the same people around town, so it makes your community feel a little smaller. We do life with people in our neighborhood, with people zoned for the same schools, and then you'll find that if you're doing rec sports, for your kids, you'll also see those same people in your rec sport communities because everything's just a little, closer together. Where we came from, my kids are doing sports, 2 miles away, but it was a 45-minute drive. I just find that we're doing life here with people that are more centered in our community, if that makes sense. All right, let's talk about the growth and the traffic in this area. Franklin, Tennessee is one of the fastest growing places in the U.S. It has been for quite some time. The growth is amazing, so we're seeing a lot of great things because of how many people want to be in this area. The con, I would say, is the traffic. It's a very real thing here. The traffic here is not what it was 7 years ago, 15 years ago, etc. I live in it used to be a farm town, and now the traffic here is quite insane, especially, times when you're coming in and out of town with, kind of those popular school times or maybe dinner time, coming home from work. But I will say that's kind of everywhere in this area. So it's not uncommon to run into traffic between, 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. and then probably 4 to 5:30 anywhere around town, whether you're in Franklin, Thompson Station, Spring Hill, Nashville. I like to try to get out of Nashville by about 3 p.m. just because the traffic can be so crazy. And keep in mind, sometimes it's not always the traffic, it's just the buildup on the highway because of car accidents and such. So something to consider. If you're not wanting to be around that kind of traffic, then you probably really need to go rural outskirts. This may not be the place for you. But if you're okay with sitting in traffic a little bit here and there, then you'll be fine. It's not the kind of sitting in traffic that you're used to on the 405 or anything like that. It's more like it might take me, to go from Thompson Station to Franklin, it might take me 20 minutes in a high traffic hour versus, 15 on an off time. So just keep in mind, the growth here has been incredible for several reasons, but because of that, we are dealing with some traffic. So let's say you're looking for a place that offers no income tax. You're looking for top-rated schools. You're looking for your family to do life with your neighbors, maybe people they see around town. You're looking for genuine people. This is the place for you. If you're serious about coming here and looking for a new place to call home, I would love to help you. Send me a message. You'll see some links below on how you can get in touch with me. We're so happy here. I really think you probably will be too.